Hey, Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go Quick Look product review. What we have this time is the Kanjo VG-10 Black Damascus Bunka 170mm knife. The way this is constructed, they've got a hard center cutting edge steel, a VG-10 full stainless steel. It's a very good stainless steel when done right, and heat treats about 60 to 61 Rockwell. It's fully stainless, it's easy to sharpen, and it holds a decent edge if it's done right, which it is in this case. The construction is soft stainless layers of for cladding on either side of that hard core cutting edge steel, and you can really easily obviously see that. So what they've done is taken those multiple layers and they've done an acid etch to it, and then they've finished that and sanded that smooth instead of leaving it kind of a textured, rougher etched finish where you can kind of really feel that with your fingers. I've made a number of additional comments I'm not going to reiterate on this knife in the Santoku video. This knife is very, very close to the Santoku. The main difference is the shape of the tip area. The dimensions are almost identical. The weight's almost identical. Performance should be very, very close. So check out the Santoku video. I'm not going to reiterate everything here, but a few comments on that. But these are very, very nicely crafted knives. The performance is really good, and the look is obviously excellent. Weight and dimensions can vary just a little bit on these, but this one is 151 grams or 5.3 ounces, 174 millimeters on the edge or 6.9 inches, and about 328 millimeters long or 12.9. Spine thickness, I got about 2.1 millimeters towards the back and about 1.9 halfway down. And then it's got a pretty generous grind to it. You can easily see where the grind starts where the layers tighten up, and then there's your kind of polished core steel peeking out from the edge. But if we look where that reverse sword tip comes, we get that corner there. You can see it thins out, kind of almost a distal taper, and it gets pretty darn thin at the tip, so the tip's nicely high performance design. And I know in the Santoku it worked really well. I did tinker with that one a bit. And it gets nice and thin at the edge. So these are very good performing knives. Blade height is about 47 millimeters at the back, and the handles are octagonal gray Packawood, which is unusual to have that on this type of a handle, all the way for the main part, and then black Packawood up front, and nice fit and finish on the handle. Handles are a little bit longer than you sometimes see on a knife this style. That brings the balance point back a little bit, but nice tight fit and finish on the glue up, and 75 millimeter circumference where the two materials meet. Balance point is going to be just in front of that handle. It's just in front of that ferrule. It wants to roll off. My finger's not small enough there, but it's just about right there. Let's take a close-up look at it. So these are really well crafted. The grinds are very nicely done, very straight blades, excellent fit and finish. You can just tell they spent time crafting these and putting attention to detail. So here's the right side of the blade. You've got an etched kanji and symbol on there, and this has that kind of what you would expect with that kind of grabby matte finish to it. Here's the left side of the blade, and then they've got a polished spine. They've got a little bit of relief on the edges of there, nicely relieved and polished choil into the neck. So very comfortable blades, maybe 6 full 7 out of 10. A really nice edge on these out of the box. Clean grinds, like I said, they're high performance. Let's take a look at the cutting board. Again, this is extremely close to the Santoku, except the tip shape. This one might be a little bit more aggressive, belly towards the tip, but they're pretty close. So it kind of depends on what tip shape you like. One advantage of this tip is you get more of a point. So if you want to work that into something for detail work on smaller stuff, or like pulling the ribs out of when you slice up a bell pepper or things like that, you can get that tip in there a little bit easier to kind of work it if you want to, versus a Santoku shape, so that some people might prefer that slight change. It makes the blade maybe just a touch lighter, not much, but because of the shape, but not a whole lot. But there's your profile. So pretty aggressive towards the tip. I can rock this nice and high, and then I've got a pretty kind of curvy back, but it does kind of flow into a little bit of a flattish area towards the back. So just a good all-around, easy-to-use profile for lots of techniques. So just a really well executed package. It looks great, and very interesting handle. excellent performance, fairly stiff blade, so it's just a good package. So this is the Kanjo VG-10 Black Damascus Bunka 170mm knife.